The moon cast its pale light over the shores of Alqualondë, its soft glow reflecting off the silver ships of the Teleri. The calm waves whispered against the docks, a fragile peace that would soon shatter under the weight of bloodshed. The sound of rushing footsteps echoed through the stillness, breaking it like glass. Figures clad in armor, their faces shadowed by grief and anger, approached the haven with a purpose as sharp as the swords they carried. What followed would be remembered in hushed whispers, a stain upon the history of the Eldar. It began with the oath, a vow so powerful it bound the hearts of Fëanor and his sons with chains of fire. They swore to reclaim the Silmarils, those sacred jewels stolen by Morgoth, no matter the cost. But that cost would prove unbearable, and it was the Teleri, their kin, who would pay the first price. The Noldor, led by Fëanor, sought the ships of the Teleri to cross the sea in pursuit of Morgoth. But the Teleri refused. These were their ships, crafted with care and beauty, and they would not hand them over, not even to kin. The refusal was met with cold fury. Words turned to shouts, shouts to violence, and then the swords were drawn. The cries of the Teleri filled the air as the Noldor, driven by their oath and blinded by rage, cut them down. The sea itself seemed to recoil as its waters ran red. This was the first kinslaying, the beginning of a doom that would follow the Noldor across the waves and through the ages. The second kinslaying came in the shadow of another betrayal, this time in Doriath. The Silmaril, now held by Thingol, had become a source of strife even among allies. When Thingol fell, the jewel passed to J.R.R, his heir. But Fëanor's sons had not forgotten their oath. They demanded the Silmaril, though J.R.R refused to surrender it. In the dead of night, the sons of Fëanor descended upon Menegroth, the Thousand Caves. What should have been a sanctuary became a slaughterhouse. J.R.R fought valiantly, but he too fell, and his children, innocent and blameless, were left to a fate so cruel it was whispered with dread. The Silmaril was not recovered, and the sorrow of the second kinslaying weighed heavily on the land. Even among the Noldor, whispers of regret grew louder. But the oath remained unbroken, its fiery chains pulling ever tighter. The third kinslaying, the most bitter of all, took place at the mouths of Sirion. Elwing, the granddaughter of Beren and Luthien, held the Silmaril, and her people, the remnants of Doriath and Gondolin, lived in fragile peace. Yet Fëanor's sons, consumed by their oath, demanded the jewel once more. They attacked in desperation, striking down those who stood in their way. The havens burned, and kin once again turned their blades against kin. Elwing, to protect the Silmaril, cast herself into the sea, where she was carried by Ulmo's grace. The sons of Fëanor gained nothing but more grief, their oath now a curse too heavy to bear. The kinslayings were not just acts of violence, they were wounds upon the very fabric of Arda. They tore families apart, turned love to hatred, and left scars that would never fully heal. Even among the Vala, there was sorrow for the choices made and the paths taken. These events would echo through the ages, their weight felt even in the twilight of Middle-earth.